Now, this is a case which was intended to be made quite simple because it's a 4-question case, something around arrangements with very few clues over here. But somewhere I think it unintentionally became a little tough, right? So this is a case with circular arrangements, but people are moving, right? So it's not just one circle, it's multiple circles, very few clues, but a set pattern and logic given over here, and we just need to follow it. Okay, let's look at this case. A round table has 7 chairs around it. Okay, quite an odd number. The chairs are numbered 1 through 7 in a clockwise direction. Okay, there is some numbering over there, which is there, and the numbers are also followed over here. Yeah, chair 2, chair 4, and all of that. So the numbering also matters. We understand 1 through 7. Okay, 4 friends A, B, C, D, we'll call them, sit on 4 of the chairs. Okay, in the starting position, so there's an initial position, a starting position. A and C are sitting next to each other. Okay, which order we don't know. And while for B as well as D, there are empty chairs on either side of the chairs that they are sitting on. Okay, let's first form some circle, right? 7, I'm not used to that, nor would you be. Let's start with that. 1 to 7, I don't know, but the initial clue over here is what? In the starting position, A and C are sitting next to each other. Let's say A slash C and C slash A, right? So that, let's make it clear, A slash C, okay? Now, what about B and D? B and D are seated such that there are empty chairs on either side of the chairs that they're sitting on. So, I can't put B or D over here because that's next to C or A, right? So, therefore, I have to put B over here means 2 empty chairs, and I put D over here. Or it can just be the other way around, right? B or D over here and D or B, right? So this entire paragraph, just look at it once again. A and C are next to each other. There's a gap, and then B and D are seated such a way on either side. There, it's empty chairs in the initial position, right? So this is the initial position over here, and that's all that's given in the first paragraph. Now the second paragraph, what does it say? The friends take turns moving either clockwise or counterclockwise from the chair. They are either moving clockwise or counterclockwise. The friend who has to move in a turn occupies the first empty chair in whichever direction he or she chooses to move. Now, wait a minute. Clockwise or counterclockwise? Clockwise, you know how the clock moves, right? So clockwise is going to be like this, and counterclockwise is going to be the other way around. You could move, okay? And the friend who has to move in a turn occupies the first empty chair in whichever direction he or she chooses to move. Let's say A is over here and moves clockwise, then cannot sit over here because C is already seated, so has to come to this position over here. We don't know the number and all of that, just an idea. Okay, fine. How do we proceed now? We still don't know the structure. Aslam moves first, right? So A is moving first on turn 1, followed by B, C, and D in turn 2, 3, and 4 respectively. Okay, so each turn only one person is moving, and there is a new arrangement over there. Then A moves again, followed by B and C in turns 5, 6, and 7. Okay, that order is being followed, A, B, C, D, alphabetical, and it's cyclical, right? So we have an initial position, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why have they written till 7? Let's look at the questions or the clues also. The clues over here tell me turn 2 and turn 6, and it speaks about turn 2 and turn 5 and turn 1. It's all within 1 to 7. And what about the questions over here? Yeah, question clearly says turn 7, right? So that's it. Rest are 6, 3. So 1 to 7, I have to track, right? Moves 1 to 7. So I have an initial position, and then turn 1 to turn 7. That's a total of, ideally, I would want 8 circular arrangements. Now is the time for you to start drawing them and also numbering them, right? So this becomes a slightly time consuming case if you have to follow this. Now, if you have to do it quick, you need to skip some of the arrangements and you have to start tracking them mentally. So if you just need to follow it and get it right, safety first, form the tables, I mean rather the circular tables or arrangements, right, the round tables. Do that, number them 1 to 7. The luxury over here for me is to quickly recreate this, right? So what is this? This over here is my initial position, right? So this is initial, and this is after turn 1, right? And this is after turn 2, right? After turn 3. Let's label them, right? So that there is no confusion, right? So turn 4, after turn 5, and after turn 6, and after turn 7, right? So the moment you form the structure in a neat, clean manner, it becomes easy, a little easy. Right? Some of you might also form a table, knowing that you could number it 1 to 7 the positions, and then after 7 you get 1. That's fine. If that strikes for you and you're comfortable with that, and it happens, yes. But in an exam scenario, you most likely would land up with this if you're looking at it for the first time, right? So now, how do we proceed? Turn 1, what happens? Who's moving over here? I know that A is moving, right? So A moves first. A moves, then you have B moving, then you have C moving, right? And then you have D moving over here, and then it's once again A and B and C. Okay. Now just very few clues. And what are the clues over here? The 4 friends occupy adjacent chairs only at the end of turn 2 and turn 6. Now turn 2, let me write it this way: adjacent, right? Adjacent. I am going to put a circle there. And turn 6, adjacent. Only over here, they are in adjacent chairs. That means 4 consecutive chairs, no gap between them. Okay. First clue, I think we are done with. Let's move to the second clue. D occupies chair 2 after turn 1. After turn 1, D over here is occupying chair 2. Okay. And is occupying what? Chair 4 after turn 5. After turn 5, it is chair 4, right? So that's D over here. You just have to be careful with that. That's it. What else can you fill up? We have done till here. Let's look at it quickly. D is actually moving only after turn 4. So that means D is unmoved, or is not moving at all for in the first 4 circles, right? So D is initially should have been over here because only A moved. So how can D land up in 2? Because D was already in 2, and D continues to be in 2, and D continues to be in 2, right? Now what happens over here? D has moved, and D continues to be in the same position, which is going to be 4. So D over here from 2 has moved to 4, which tells me that somebody is sitting at 3, right? So must have moved clockwise. We'll come to that later, right? So let's just map this. There is no movement for D after this, right? So we can continue to put D over here. And with just that one simple clue, we have filled up all of D's positions for all 8 circular arrangements, right? Initial 2 turns after turn 7. Now what about C? C occupies 7 after turn 2. C is at, after turn 2, is at 7, right? Now when is C moving? C is moving only over here. So that means earlier C was continued to be in 7, as simple as that. Now what are the clues are left for us? Adjacent, right? 2 adjacents, okay? And we are completely done with this. And we have one more clue over here. Hey, what is this clue? We had A and C next to each other. Now initially A was next to C, but can I put A over here? No, that's a problem because D cannot have anybody seated next to D, right? So A cannot be between C and D. So A should have been on the other side. If that is the case, where is B going to be? Bravo, right? B or Bravo or Bashir. B has to be at 4 because B and D don't have anybody next to them, right? So if I put B over here, B is moving only after turn 2. So B continues to be at 4. Okay. Now what about A over here? Where does A go? Where does B go? Now that's the big question over here. Now let's look at it. What is the only other clue left over here? We have factored this in. This is done. Clockwise, counterclockwise we have to use, right? Adjacent are the only 2 clues over here, right? So adjacent, they have to all be next to each other. That means somebody comes between C and D. Somebody is coming between C and D, and can that be B suddenly jumping over here, right? I know C and D are here. Can B from turn 1 over here jump here? If that is the case, A should have come to 3. Can A come to 3 over here? No way. It can move only to 5. So A can move to 5 or 1, A is the person who should have moved to 1. A is the person who will remain at 1, right, till the next turn when A has to move. If A has come there, now adjacent B has to just move one step and come to position 3. And B continues to be at position 3. B is going to continue to be at position 3 over here till B has to move once again, right? Till B has to move once again. So we've done A, B, C, D here, A, B, C, D over here as well, and here. Now what about C? C has to move. Okay, this is interesting. Now C has to move in such a way that adjacent does not happen over here. There's no adjacent here. If C would have moved clockwise and come to position 4, you're again going to have 4 adjacent. That's not possible here. So C could not have moved clockwise. C must have moved counterclockwise and come to position 6. So therefore C is going to be at position 6 here, position 6 over here, and position 6 here, and then C moves over there. Okay, we're done with A, B, C, D here, over here as well. And what about this? A is moving. Now I need adjacent here. Somebody has to come between C and D. Who can that be? That can be B. Could that be A? Could A have jumped over here? Impossible. So therefore, it's definitely B who's coming over here. Great. Now A over here should have been adjacent. Could A have come to 3? Not possible. So A must have come to 7 over here. So A has moved to 7, right? We have A, B, C, D. A continues at 7. A continues at 7. Now who's moving over here? Only C. Let's write down B carefully over here. Just go with the flow. You might have to rewind a bit, right? Once your logic is clear, once you know it's clockwise or counterclockwise, the rest of it should be quite straightforward over here, right? So where is C going to move? That we don't know, right? We don't have any other condition. No more adjacent. Don't know, right? C, whichever way, C is going to ensure that, the adjacent is broken, right? So it doesn't really matter. Let's look at the questions and then work with it further if required. Now, what is the number of the chair initially occupied by B? Initial B 4, right? Straightforward. Who sits on the chair number 4 at the end of turn 3? Turn 3, after turn 3, chair 4, no one is sitting over there. Option 4, no one. Which of the chairs are occupied at the end of turn 6? After turn 6, adjacent chairs that are 4, 5, 6, and 7. Option number 1. And which of the following best describes the friends sitting on chairs adjacent to the one occupied by Bashir at the end of turn 7? B over here, turn 7, Davis is definitely there. What about 6? Who's going to be over there? C used to be there, but C has to vacate. Right now C has to move. C either goes to 1 or 3. So 6 becomes empty. 6 is empty. Next to B, you have only D because C is going somewhere else. So therefore, it's option 4, Davies only.